What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tesla Fix, and today we need to talk because I'm editing right now the Model 3 Highland review, and it should be up already since 1 week. I've already shot everything, but since I'm working professionally as a video editor, as a content creator for companies, I have my own company as well on the side, and for me it's pretty difficult to put out a half-baked product, and these things take immensely time, especially because it's a new video category, because it's a review. And I struggle so hard to put it out and find niches where I can edit the videos as well. Also, personally, I had a lot to deal with the family and everything, with the work-life balance right now, and that's something I struggle with right now. I want to show you guys, of course, what is happening and what changes Tesla made with the newer cars, since in the US it will be available, or it is already available soon. I just wanted to ask you guys, how should we do this? How can I put out content without being so perfectionistic about everything? That's something that's hard for me to do, since those kind of things, when you do them professionally, they take time. Maybe you can write in the comments what you think. For me, it feels not good to put out a half-baked review, but that's why I made this video right now, to show you around in the Model 3 Highland at least, and we can talk about some differences at least, that you know what's changing. I mean, we've had some reviews already, but it's pretty interesting, since we now know what configuration, how the Model 3 Highland or Model 3 Plus or 3 Fresh, whatever you want to call it, will be available in the US too. Yeah, let's just start and do a small tour of the car. So I'm going to step out of the vehicle for 1 second so you can see it from the outside. So if you look at this, here's the Model 3 Refresh. You've seen that the lines pretty much changed a lot. You can see that the wheels are different, the wheelbase is different as well. We have new headlights, of course, here, or taillights, I mean. And what's also new is that here, when you open up the Frunk, for example, you can really see that the lights are still staying on top of that. And over here we have like a cup holder, you could say. That's also something Scott Walter pointed out. That was pretty funny, I think. So the cargo didn't change, actually a little bit, maybe the trunk. I've decided to go with the sportier wheels, which deduct the range around 30 or 40 kilometers, around, I don't know, 15 miles or something, 20 miles. And so the exterior changed quite a bit. You can really see here in the front, the front lip changed pretty much. It's way more aggressive, and also the aerodynamic lines, or those lines, are separated here, and then they go around here as well, over to that thing. And of course here the logo change. You can see the logo change as well of the car. So I'm going to make just a tour as well, so you see the lines kind of change of the car as well. And what you also have is, of course, the interior, and that's something that's way more important. Something to note here, the car actually lowered a little bit here. It is lower, around 0.8 inches or something like this. So the overall height of the car also changed. Maybe I can close the door again, just give you a brief tour of the car. So this is how it looks way sportier. People compare it also with the Porsche, for example. Many friends of mine in Germany compared it with the Porsche. And the headlights, of course, changed a lot. The Frunk is a little bit bigger. Now you've heard the closing sound. So it's a beautiful car, as far you can see. Yeah, like this, you can see how good it looks. It looks way better than the first Model 3, and I gotta say, it's a total game changer. Those mats are third party. I've ordered them, because we have winter right now, and I don't want to get to clean this all the time. And we have perforated seats right now. That's because the seats are now cooled as well. If you go to the menu here, or if you go to the air conditioning, you can see that you can heat your seat here and also cool them. And then a small fan in the seat starts. And I don't know if you can hear this, but it's humming a little bit. And it's cooling your butt and your back as well. Also, if you look at the other options, what you also have is heated seats on the other seat as well as ventilated seats. And in the interior, many things changed, of course. The first thing you see is the light bar. I'm gonna step back into the car again. So you can see now that the interior quite changed a lot. We have this beautiful light bar right here, and everything feels very high quality and everything. And first I'm gonna shut off and do more heating here because my butt is freezing now. So the interior changed quite a bit. And if you look at everything, we have the new steering wheel, for example. It doesn't have stocks anymore. The stocks are gone, as you can see. And you have those blinkers here right now. And when you press them, you can blink. The problem is when you are in a roundabout, that's pretty difficult actually to do that. But I've got used to that in a half an hour, I would say. That was pretty easy for me since I'm also gaming a little bit. And this is easy for me to adjust. And I think it's perfectly fine. A little bit muscle memory needs to change a little bit, but it works out fine. So this is the Model S wheel more or less. And you also have here the high beams. And one cool thing is when you press those buttons, the shortcut pops up. Then you can adjust the settings. And what's also nice is, for example, you have a camera button over there where you can see all the cameras, the back camera, the left and right camera. What you also notice, there is no front camera. And that's something I want to discuss with you next. When I get out of the car, but we stay in the interior right now. Here is the windshield wiper, and we all know that the Tesla rain sensors aren't as good as they are. So that's why it's a good thing here. You press that, and then the hotkey pops up here also, and then you can, just like with the lights, you can change everything. And one thing that's also super awesome is if you press this button, then you can also change the menu by clicking the control knob here to change the settings of the wipers. That's how you control the whole thing. Of course, here your controls of the car, you can just move around. That's the same, I think. Here's also a nice 3D view of the whole car. I've chosen the white interior with the white paint and the silver wheels because the styling is the best, I would say. And what's also nice is that people said, oh God, no, you have a kid, are you crazy, picking the white interior? And I can tell you guys, it's pretty easy to clean. That's why I have just some wet wipes over here in the compartment over there. And I use them to clean something when my kid, for example, is kicking against the chair or something, or there's something. So no worries, you can really easily clean that. I'm gonna cover that in my bigger review as well, the cinematic one that I want to put out for you guys. And remember, normally there is just a normal carpet. Normally it's just carpet over here. But like I said, I've changed those out because we have winter now and I'm a little OCD with the carpets. Here's your area where you can lay down your mobile phone as well and charge. The interesting thing is here normally was the button for the emergency. That button went up here right now, and now you can push it here. And what's also interesting, I don't know if you kind of can see it. I'm gonna go closer here. Park, rear, and neutral and drive you have over here. And that's also pretty nice. That changed as well because this was invisible over here. And when you restart the computer here with touching both of those knobs at the same time, everything shuts down here. The screen, for example, I not often I have to do that, but there were some cases I did that because of the network connection since I live near the Swiss border, as you can see. And yeah, so the interesting thing is when you turn down the computer, actually here, the park, rear, all those things light up immediately because then you can control on the screen. So you have your hardware buttons over here as well, which is cool. So going forward with the blinds here, they also changed. They are magnetic, I think. I don't know if the Model 3 had that also like this, but this one is pretty interesting. It has a nice light over here where you can put your makeup on in the morning, as I always do, of course. And that's pretty nice. The ceiling also changed. You can see that the lights are a little bit different here. And what's also interesting, because you see that over there, those are speakers as well, because this thing has 17 speakers instead of 15, like the Model 3 from before, which is also pretty interesting. And I'm gonna put on the lights for you guys for 1 second, and that's the dome lights. I'm going to put them on here that you can see them now in all of their glory. What I like about the dome lights is that they are bright pretty much, and white bright, so normal neutral light like daylight, and that's pretty cool. And one thing also that I pretty much like on the ceiling is this one. This is just a hook that hooks out. That's also very clever design, and I like the minimalist styling overall. I also like that we don't have stocks, that everything in the interior is super, super clean. And the next thing, the big thing that of course you've already noticed, is the light bar. That's something that's pretty cool. I'm going to cover that in my review as well. When I'm ready, I'm going to put it to red so everybody can see it. So here you can see the light bar is pretty nice light bar. Also the materials changed over here in the dash. And what's cool about the light bar again is that it's silver here. And this is actually metal. It feels like metal. I don't know, it has a cold touch. I'm not 100% sure if it's metal, but everything feels very high quality because this is a plastic and this one feels different. So I think this is a matte finished metal. And also what's changed is these nice compartments here. They go up like this and they close up like this. They open up like this. And also the storage is incredible here. It's pretty much storage. It's already a little bit dirty here. I have to clean that going to the car wash again, but in my review I think it looks a little bit better. Yeah, so also what to note is interesting, it's closing up pretty easily. And also one thing, if you open up the glove box, actually, controls and glove box, then the glove box opens. And what I wanted to show you is this. Here, you remember the slippery surface area here? And now look at this. You see that? And also when you open up the glove box, for example, here, you've seen how I did it. That's something, the loudness of that is actually something many people complain about, but it's magnetic. If you just let it like this, it's pretty cool. It's also cool, for example, in the front is also this compartment. I have my gloves there and stuff like this. And this one is also magnetic now. You can hear that. It's pretty nice sound over here. Pretty much like it. Everything feels super premium here. And there are some misalignment is here, like 1 millimeter, a little panel gap more or less, but that's totally okay and totally within range. On the other side, it's a little bit better here. But overall, the panel gaps are almost perfect, I would say, everywhere. This was just one thing, the minor detail, 1 millimeter off here a little bit, but that's just minor, and I think it's totally, because also in German cars we have misalignments of 1 millimeter sometimes, so that's not so bad, I would say. And the next thing that I wanted to show you, of course, is the lights. Again, the accent lights. I'm going to put them on now, again, that you can see them also to the back here. One thing that I didn't like at first initially, like in the reviews, was that this line goes down and this one steps up again, like it's like almost like a stair. And I didn't like that at first, but now sitting inside of the Tesla makes totally sense, because it's kind of like a ship, if that makes sense. Because this line makes totally sense, because you sit a little bit lowered or something. Like this is actually, it feels like this is the horizontal line actually, but the real horizontal line is somewhere in between here, I would say. But this is pretty cool, and actually you never really see this break, and that's why, like this break up, like this stair until back. So I think that's totally fine. And one thing in the back, of course, is the screen that you can see here, of course, that I can show you. And one thing to note here is super interesting. Some people didn't realize that you can control the rear from the front, actually. And you can really do everything that you have in the back here. This is the screen from the back. That's just like a copy of the screen there. and you can adjust everything. You can sync the brightness with the front as well, which I like to do as well. And of course you can put something in for your kids, Netflix or something. When they sit down, they can watch something over there, and you can also lock the rear screen from here, which is also pretty cool. But of course, when you fiddle around with that, that's just possible in park. You can adjust some settings, but not watching movies, for example, because Netflix is not allowed to play here, or YouTube while you drive, of course. That's why it's disabled then. And one last thing I wanted to note here before it gets dark and everything is that here you can change, for example, also the seats, which is pretty handy. Like this, then the seat moves forward, and this also the seat moves backwards. That's pretty neat for if you have a kid in the back, and that's of course also controllable from the screen, of course. And what you also can control from this is the back screen, don't get it confused. When I press here, it's heated seats over here, and over here is also heated seats, and that's something pretty nice. Now I'm going to show you something from the back. Many people ask, wow, they are also perforated, the seats in the back. They ventilated. No, the back seats are not ventilated, but they are heated at least. That's pretty cool. And of course you have everything that's similar like the other Model 3s. Here is the screen that I was talking about. Yeah, the space is actually pretty good here. You can just do the same settings like I've shown before in the back as well. You can play games here, and also the settings are here as well. Screen brightness is to sync, yeah. So also here you can adjust your ventilation like in the front, like you're used to in your Tesla. I'm going to disable that right now because it's super loud. Here is something for the parents, points to mount your seat, your children's safety seat here. And then you can mount it on top of here. Here's a hidden hook, and this is a cool thing. Everything is almost hidden. That's pretty sexy actually. And yeah, that's pretty cool also for the kids as well. And yeah, the dome lights are here again, maybe a different view. You can see that. I'm gonna give you a walk around just. And here's the front. Now you can imagine you're in the middle seat right now, and that's the look you have. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Also here's a compartment where you can put your drinks as well. And now we have a great example because we have a stain here. And I'm gonna clean up the stain for you guys. As you can see that you can clean the interior pretty easily because there were some tests with red wine even, and Tesla reposted that. And here's the spot. And then I'm gonna clean it here. And the spot is gone. As you can see, the spot is almost gone. It's a little bit visible still, but overall, if you use the good cleaner like this one, it works out pretty fine. And also here you can see some minor touch-ups here as well. Everything's pretty easily to clean, and that's pretty cool. I really like that, of course. 3 people with a kid with a seat like this is too difficult. It has to be another child. Maybe it's super small, as you can see here. And one thing that also is interesting that I've noticed is that here the compartment, but sadly no pass-through from the middle. That would be cool, that you could transport 4x4s if you put that down. But of course this surface could be scratched as well. So this one is closed up. That's what Tesla decided. I think with the older Model 3 that's also the case. So never mind that. In the back you can also see the new Tesla logo like I've mentioned before. That's pretty cool. The whole back is actually pretty aggressive, I would say. It looks super sporty, and as we know there will be a Model 3 performance version on the horizon as well. There is one on the horizon as well. So this one's super awesome already, but I think the performance version will be killer as well. So just so you know, I have the Model 3 standard range. It's a poser long range because I wanted to save the 10K, the additional 8 or 10K for getting my Cybertruck, if it will come to Europe, of course. Yeah, All right, and here is the other compartment down below. Overall, the whole compartments of the whole car, the overall storage of this car increased by 5% overall. So this Model 3 actually has 5% more storage overall, as you can see in the back, like I've showed you. Look at the Frunk as well, so I'm going to open up the Frunk for you guys. And then I think we are done with the small tour. Over here you have the Frunk. I think this also changed a little bit. Sorry, this is also third-party thing. That's how it looks when you get it delivered, of course. And yeah, so I think the size changed a little bit, but I'm not sure how much. But I really like those things as well. Yeah, so you can look at the front again over here. Then I'm gonna walk around the car again, that you can see it, because I have to really want to upload it. Again, you've heard the closing sound that I've chosen. And what's also interesting that I wanted to show you guys is, that's from the newer version, the holiday update. The new view, actually. And that's this one. So if you press on the brake and put in your passcode, I use that. So is that if you want to go rear, like this, you can see this 3D map actually of the surroundings. So if you can see here, this one should be the table around here. And I mean, it's difficult to see now. I'm going to show you that in the review better. Here's a small thing also. That's the trees over there. And then we have the houses. So this is seen by the car. And if you back up a little bit, then you can kind of see what's up around you. And those are trees and everything. I'm not driving now too far behind because I wanted to show you still everything. But that's a pretty helpful feature, because one thing changed from the car. Because in the promo material, we've seen that the car actually should get a front-facing camera. And that should be down below here. But here, as you can see, is nothing, sadly, because the Cybertruck has a front-facing camera. And I think Tesla wanted to put that in here as well, because of course the promo material had that as well. So I was speculating that actually it will get a front-facing camera, but it actually didn't, sadly. One thing that's a significant upgrade, of course, is the doubled glass you can see right here. That's the doubled glass. And this one also makes the sound dampening of the car 20% better, or 25%, around that ballpark. And the wheels, the road noise is reduced by 20% because of the newer wheels, how they, I think the rubber is and how they are insulated or something. I'm not sure, but before the Model 3 just had the front glass was also sound dampened, but now it has 360 degrees sound dampening in the glass. And that's something that's super noticeable, and that's the sound actually. It's so silent, and I've tested the Model 3, a normal one, in Amsterdam actually. I still remember the difference of the Model 3 and this one in comparison. I was already shocked about the EV being so quiet. I've sat in a Tesla before, but the sound dampening of this car is super amazing, and that's super noticeable. And many people also point this out when they test the vehicle as well. So this one is a big deal. So the sound dampening is going around all those windows, and it's super noticeable. Also, the sound system is way better. We now have 17 speakers, like I said before. On top of there are also some, and 2 subwoofers somewhere hidden. I think they are here actually, in the boot or in the trunk. Yeah, the sound is also significantly improved. You can really hear that. It's super noticeable. I tend to overthink all the time. I'm gonna still post the review, the in-depth one, because I go way more into detail about everything, but this was just a rundown. One thing, please write in the comments what you want to ask me about this car. I'm gonna answer that. Because everything is similar. I think this version will be the same version you will get in the US as well. The kilowatts confirmed in the showroom that he saw that the front-facing camera isn't there actually in the US model, and That means you won't get the front-facing camera, because the front-facing camera would be actually pretty cool, because when backing up, I'm always looking at the camera, because we don't have parking sensors in this car, of course. And this would be a huge deal to have, because then you could adjust. But overall, with the newer software update, it kind of works. I think the distances aren't, with the 3D vision system that I've showed you, the distances are a little bit off sometimes. Yeah, it's a nice car. I really much like it, and we could do those simple tours pretty often. If you want to know something specifically, I can tell you that beforehand, because of course the Model 3 is available soon in the US. You can already order that, but delivered, it's going to be delivered, I think around April or end of March, I think, something like this. And yeah, overall, the car, I really much like it. I never drove in Tesla or owned a Tesla before, and I'm super stoked about this car overall. I was going cold turkey immediately, because I had a gasoline car before with gear shifts and everything, and I didn't care about cars actually before that. And since, of course, having the channel and always talking to experts about Tesla, yeah, I love the brand. I love the car as well. But what really struck me is how prehistoric cars feel when you went into a Tesla. And that's something many people told as well. So my personal experience with the car is superb. I really love it. Never seen anything like it. And it's super awesome also with the lane keeping, for example. That's something I come on to the locations where I'm at then, or my destination, way more refreshed, for example. And I really love how it is that I can trust the car with also the braking, and also with the distance holding in traffic, for example. And yeah, that's a big deal, because I hate to drive long distances, and this one's pretty cool. So just so you know, I've ordered here the standard range one. It has, right now, I'm still at 50% around that, and I still have 211 kilometers, so 120 miles or something still left, with 52% of battery. One thing is the phantom draining of the car. It has, in winter, we are having like 3 degrees right now, Celsius. Fahrenheit, I don't know, you have to figure that out yourself, sadly. It has phantom draining of 3% a day. And that's something to keep in mind, because I don't have home charging. I can charge at work, and I also can charge when I go shopping here. We have a lot of chargers around. But that's a big deal that you have to know when you own an EV, because it has to heat up the battery all the time. That's what Tesla does. So the batteries are better and don't actually lose range and everything, and break easily. So that's a good thing, I think, that they do. But of course, this is something to consider. And that's why also Tesla recommends always to plug it in. So if you have any questions, please write them in the comments down below, like I said. And thanks for watching. And the review, the bigger one, will come online soon. So peace out.